Right, Sean. So say you had all those tools in place then, that structure, that knowledge, guidance, community, and you actually put the work in then as well. Where do you feel like you could see yourself in the 6 months of all that? If you had all
If I've got all the tools necessary to give me the skills and knowledge to actually go and succeed at this,
that?
ultimately it's to get me and my family visas to move to Spain because I stay in the UK. As you know, at Brexit, I can only do it through working remotely. So
Yes.
I'm going to need to apply myself completely to this to actually allow me to work remotely to get me from A to B where I want to go.
Yeah. So Spain's the dream then, is what you're saying?
Spain's a dream of me, my missus, my son. We've looked into it. We looked into immigration, lawyers, and the visas available were either like a retirement visa or a visa where you don't actually have to work. So, like if you had investment for the UK
Hmm.
or a remote visa, it's called a digital nomad visa. It means you can work for a laptop as long as you earn £2,800 a month into your
Hmm.
business or company or whatever it is. Then,
Yeah, nice one.
then they'll give me the visa to go over there, work remotely, which will with that visa allow my wife to actually go and get a job over there without any complications. So
Yeah.
that's the real driving force behind what I'm actually trying to fucking do.
So the plan is get the visa, take the wife, take the kids away to Spain.
That's a plan.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Spain, why Spain, Sean?
Listen, her parents are both a bit older now. Spain's only a 2 hour flight. You can fly in and out of Alicante
Nice.
8 times a day for the UK. So
Yeah,
it's no commutable, but you get what I mean.
yeah,
You can wake up in the morning in an emergency and book a flight, and you're back in fucking Glasgow for five
yes,
o'clock, 6 o'clock at night.
yeah. So, is it safe to say then that you want to move to Spain, but you also want to easily be able to come back home in the case of an emergency?
That's all. Just cause my parents are getting a bit older. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's more attainable to jump in a flight for a 2 hours and a bit flight than it would
yeah,
be fucking off to Asia, where it's. I
100%.
mean,
Nice, nice. So, obviously Spain because it's so close, but say you do move over to Spain, like what's the first thing you're going to do with the wife and the kids over there?
what are we talking here? When I'm settled and like I've got a property and things like that. Is this what we're
I mean, I push a lot aside, obviously, yes, that's important, but like, what are you doing just out of pure enjoyment, man? Landing down in Spain.
Listen, man, just living a lifestyle where the weather's so good, where you can be outside, outdoor eating, having my dinner
Hmm.
outside, fucking walking along the beach, beautiful weather, shorts and t-shirt, 300 days a year. That's what moving to a place with a climate like that gives you. It'll give my son so much more opportunity to be more active, to be more outside, to get involved in more
Yes.
groups and things like that.
Hmm.
That's the plan.
Mm. And how would that feel then, being able to enjoy this weather, walk down the beach, give your son all this opportunity?
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing because ultimately that's everything. That's why I do it. I do it for them.
Mm. And like, why do you feel like it'll be so amazing then?
As I said, it's Glasgow's fucking raining, dreary all the time. It kind of maybe lowers your mood when you're in a nice climate. You ever go on holiday and you're unhappy? Never.
Nah,
So
never.
that's my theory. Obviously, I know moving abroad's going to have its own. You know yourself, you're going to have a settling in period, but once that's all over and you can settle into the Spanish lifestyle, the Spanish way of living, while still making good money online, that's the dream.
That's the dream. 100%, man. Like that sounds amazing what you're telling me. I love that for you, man. So obviously you're gonna be living a happy life, right? But why is it so important to you right now then to actually chase that happiness, to live that life?
But as we spoke about my job, always working away, 2 weeks away, 2 weeks at home. My son's now fucking, I blinked and he's 11. So now, in a way, I'm trying to get back time with him
Yes.
before he hits 15, 16,
Mm,
when he's actually starting out in his own fucking life and doing his own thing.
yes.
So,
Yes.
I mean, it's a short window. I know that. I've maybe left it a bit late. I wasn't in the position kind of 3, 4 years ago to even maybe think about these things. Obviously,
Mm,
the internet and things have changed as well since then. But now I want to try and make the most of the next 4 or 5 years with him before he gets to an age where he wants to live his own life.
yes. So it's not even just about the life in Spain, it's also about just having that time back with your son. That's
Yeah,
what's really
yeah,
going to make you happy.
yeah.
Nice. Nice. So obviously you've told me how that's going to make you feel, make you happy, make you enjoy your life, but how do you think it's going to make, your missus and your son feel then if you're putting them in this position?
Well, they'll be over the moon. Well, my son's always said that he would rather we didn't have, when I was doing my other job, or my job the now, he was always saying he would rather I didn't work away and we had less money. So obviously he values my time more than good holidays and fucking all the other stuff, PlayStation, Fortnite
Yeah.
vouchers. He'd rather have my time back. So it's kind
Yeah.
of at home that's what he values more than money.
Mm,
So
yeah, well, it's good that he has the right values then. But Sean, what's it going to do for you to be able to be remembered as the dad that, the cool dad that flies his son out to Spain, gives him the life that he wants?
that's the last and the goal's always to see your kids happy and give them the best opportunities in life. And it'll be a good feeling. Listen,
Yeah.
he's got a good life now, but when you can give back that extra time and a better surroundings to grow and prosper,
Mm.
growing up.
So if you're keeping them happy, you're keeping yourself happy. Is that right?
Exactly. My happiness is probably at the bottom of the pile there. As long as they're happy, that makes me happy. So
That's beautiful, man. Putting the people that are important to you first. I love that. So
that's what it's
tell
all
me,
about.
tell me, Sean, like obviously this freedom that you're after, this happiness that you're chasing, getting that time back with your son. Obviously, it doesn't come for free, right? Like, what do you feel like you'd actually need to be sort of pulling in every month to be able to live that dream life that you're talking about?
I could replace my income. If I could replace my income now,
Mm,
obviously, as I told you, the criteria for the visa, you need to be making at least 2,800, right?
yes.
But obviously, I make slightly more than that a month now, so I'm maybe making about 4,000
Hmm.
a month. So if I could replicate the 4,000 to start with, obviously, that would be fucking brilliant. Once you hit the 4,000, you're always going to want to achieve that little bit more and that little bit more and that little bit more. So we'll see what it takes us, but get to the 4,000, make the 4,000, and then we're good.
So yeah, if you 6 months down the line, then if you just replace your income, you'd be content.
No, because obviously I can see the potential in the online space. So 4,000 is very achievable. I think I'm not saying it's
Yes.
going to be difficult to get there. It's not going to be just a snap of the fingers and you're getting £4,000 a month.
Yes.
But I can see that's achievable, and there's also scope for actually fucking taking it further.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Because I'm sure you've seen all those testimonial videos that I sent you
Yeah,
through. And like, them boys maybe started off making, 3, 4K replacing their incomes, but then now look at them, pulling in 10K, 20K months. Sure, that's something you'd be down for.
fucking right. It would. Listen, everybody, you've also, it doesn't matter what you do in life, you always kind of start at the bottom. So you need to just kind of, it's like building layers in it. You don't build a
Yeah.
house at the top. You don't start with the roof.
From the bottom.
You start with the foundations and work up.
Exactly. 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 So obviously you do realize though, Sean, that, replacing your income and then scaling even more past that. It's not just gonna, happen by itself one day. Like you're gonna have to put the work in. You're sort of aware of that.
Oh, definitely. I've done this all my life. I've always tried to push to try and make more money. So this will be no different.
Well, yeah, man, for sure, for sure. So when did you actually realize, that these dreams that you're chasing, getting that freedom back with your son, or getting that time back with your son, having this freedom, living this dream life out in Alicante in Spain. When did you realize that these dreams wanted to actually become a reality?
I've been looking, always spoke about moving abroad, but obviously with work, the line of work that you do, it's not really attainable, and Brexit also throw that into the mix. But once I started seeing more and more stuff online and then speak to the immigration lawyer, it became apparent that visa work remotely. So maybe about the last year, it's accelerated a bit, it's picked up pace.
Yeah,
And with my son getting older, I'm realising now that the time's running out before he's actually too old and he
yeah,
doesn't bother about hanging about with me anymore. He wants to go and do his own thing.
yeah. So it's pretty urgent to you, is what you're saying.
Basically, aye, the urgency's there.
Yeah, 100%, man. So obviously, Sean, then. So Sean, obviously, you said there that this dream you wanted to make it a reality, sort of over the last year. It's been in your head more over the last year. But the way I see it, right, like a year, that's 365 days where you woke up and got out of your bed, and that dream has been in your mind, but it hasn't been in your life. I mean, how does that sort of sit with you?
It's no great wanting something that you don't feel's achievable, is it?
Yeah.
It's
And
not. It's not good because it's like it's like you can see it. It's there. People are doing it, but it's no. The door's not really open for you to actually go and do it.
yeah, because having those thoughts that you're talking about there, that's one thing, right? But on the other hand, then, what do you think it's actually cost you up until this point, then, not taking action and letting this dream just be a dream and not a reality?
It's cost me a full year of my son. So that's basically cost me that.
Yeah,
That's the long and short of that's the important thing here.
yeah,
That's what it's cost me.
mm,
There's nothing more important to me than having the time with my son.
yeah. Because, like, what's one thing you can never get back?
You never get back time.
Yeah, it's precious, isn't it?
You know, as the saying goes, father time waits for no man.
Exactly. So, obviously, yes, it's cost you the time with your son, but I get it that that's the most important thing for you, but do you feel like it's cost you anything else?
Potentially, it could have cost me money. Potentially, if you started at the foundations, I could be maybe halfway up the house and maybe making 10K a month. But again, that's something I can't really focus on
Yeah,
because it's not something I've actually had the ability to actually go and do up until now, where I'm actually seeing it in front of me and seeing people doing it. Do you know what I mean?
mm. Yeah, because what you're saying there, like, you could be higher up the ladder, you could be pulling in even more than the income that you're making right now, because you told me that that's what you would be want to achieving after 6 months, actually being able to replace your income. So
Yeah,
if we started a year ago, over the first 6 months, you could have actually been able to replace your income.
yeah,
And then the next 6 months after that, you could have been thinking about scaling to even more. So can you
yeah,
see how much money this has actually cost you?
yeah. You can look at it that way.
Yeah, for sure. And if we continue to stay in this position, then Sean, continue to let that fear of the unknown hold you back for another year, what's it going to cost you down the line?
It'll be another year lost. That's for sure. It'll be another year lost with my son. And it's not really something I really want to visualise. I want to actually put myself in a position where I don't need to think about that.
Yeah, because ultimately, if you would say waste another year, I mean that's another year that, or you get another year of time with your son that you're never going to be able to get back.
Yeah, that's true.
Because right now, Sean, obviously you've let that fear of the unknown hold you back for the last year. It's cost you precious time with your son that you're never going to be able to get back up until this point, as well as money which isn't really the important thing, right? But going forward, you've told me that it's going to continue costing you that precious time with your son. And if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but earlier you said, you want to act now because time isn't slowing down because your son's only getting older and you feel like now is the right time to actually get that time back with him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going forward from today then, Sean, what do you feel like actually needs to happen?
I need to get my toes wet and I need to dip my feet in the water and start the journey and start learning the skills that I need to actually allow me to work for the laptop. It's as simple as that. There's no other option to get the visa to get me there without actually getting my feet wet and getting involved.
Absolutely, man. 10 out of 10. Perfect student. I'm only joking. But anyways, man, then, you know, you're saying there you need to get your feet wet. You need to actually start doing something,
Yeah.
learning the skill. So do you feel like you'll actually be able to learn the skill without number one, actually putting in the work, and without number two, all the tools, the community, the knowledge, the guidance that you told me that you needed earlier?
No, no, you're no, you would just be fucking farting in the wind without people showing you what to do. This isn't something that it's new to me. I would need to
Yeah.
be shown. I would need to be told what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. I'd need to potentially be surrounded with like-minded people like myself, maybe learning themselves, so that you can actually kind of bounce off each other and that.
Yeah. And why do you feel like that then?
Yeah, because any jobs like that, you know what I mean? Who turns up on their first day in an apprenticeship and just
Exactly.
picks up fucking the tools and starts doing the job? Somebody actually has to show you.